Guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another Championship predictions video. Today I'm joined by Leon. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Matt. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. We've just watched Norwich play Huddersfield. It finished 7-0. It was remarkable.
It was a demolition job from Norwich on Huddersfield. Huddersfield really poor, couldn't cope, but Norwich worthy winners in the end. Yeah,
absolutely. Both me and George got 0 predictions right in the last video because there were some unbelievable scores. So it's still neck and neck between me and the guests. Let's get into this video. First up then we have Watford playing Reading. Now both teams with a lot to play for. Watford trying to cement second place, remember. They should be able to do it because Swansea and Brentford's form hasn't been good, but they're up against a Reading team that are still playing for a lot. They need to get the playoffs done. They need to just make sure they're in there come the end of the season. So they're both playing for a lot. I'm going to go for Watford. I think Watford's just a bit better, and they've got the best home record, so I'm going to go for 2-1 to Watford.
I'm going to go for a Watford win as well. I'm just going to go 2-0. I think Reading won't cause them. I think they could have the potential to cause Watford problems, but I just think Watford look really comfortable at times, and I think they'll be able to deal with whatever Reading throw at them, so I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. Next up we head to the Den where Millwall take on Swansea City. Now Swansea are that other team that are trying to chase down the top 2, but it's tricky, isn't it? Swansea City's form, I think they've lost the last 4, which is atrocious, especially when you're a team at that end of the table. I think for now Swansea fans just want to get back to winning ways and just cement the playoffs because the top 2 is fading, and bar a really bad run from Watford, I don't think Swansea will catch them. Away to Millwall, by the way, this is a very tricky game. Millwall have been picking up some decent results. They beat Stoke last time. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to go for a scoreline not too dissimilar. I'm going to go 2-2. I don't think Swansea will lose this game. I just think they've had enough of losing 4 games on the bounce. I don't think they'll want to lose 5 out of 5 because then they maybe slowly started. Well, they've already started slipping a little bit, but luckily they are still up and around Brentford, around that third or fourth spot. But hopefully it'll be an entertaining game. I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Next up, Barnsley take on Middlesbrough. Big win last time out for Barnsley. They are still on course to try and wrap up a top 6 place. But against Middlesbrough, this won't be easy. Middlesbrough's top 6 chances have probably faded now, but a good result nonetheless last time, 1-1 against Watford. But I'm going for Barnsley. 2-0 here.
I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I think Barnsley, they look, obviously they're on such a good run, but I think maybe against Middlesbrough, who have been they've been okay recently. Obviously, a good result against Watford. But yeah, I'm going to go for a draw and I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Next up, we go to St Andrews. Birmingham City against Stoke City. Now, Birmingham with a 0-0 against Brentford. That's an underrated scoreline in my eyes. I think that's a good point, and that will go a long way towards their bid for survival. Put it on top of their wins they've got under Lee Bowyer, and they're doing very well, aren't they? Stoke City not really playing for anything anymore, so this could be a good opportunity for Birmingham to win, but Stoke are a good team, so let's go for another goalless draw.
I'm actually going to back Birmingham for this one. I think the draw away at Brentford is, honestly, it's such a good result for them. You know, obviously, maybe they could have nicked it. I don't think they ended the game with any shots on target in the end, but you know what, I do fancy them to score against Stoke, so I'm going to go 2-1 Birmingham. Okay,
next up, Bournemouth take on Coventry City. Now, my team, Coventry, This is tough. This is very tough. And as positive as I feel after that Bristol City game, you've got to be realistic. This is very, very tough. You know, Coventry could do something here, but it's very tough, isn't it? Bournemouth, they've got a lot to play for. They're one of the teams we're playing between now and the end of the season that still have a lot to play for. So I'm going to back Bournemouth. And because Coventry have now got the worst away record in the league, I'm going to say 3-1 to Bournemouth.
You know what? I don't think I've ever not backed a Coventry result. So I think I'm going to have to continue my streak, however optimistic that may seem. So I'm going to go 2-1 Coventry.
What?
I'm not massively optimistic, but I'm going to keep on with my record, simply to try and keep the Coventry fans happy.
Love it. Come on, let's do this, boys. Next up, Bristol City taking on Nottingham Forest. Now, for me, there's only going to be one winner, and that is Nottingham Forest. Bristol City were a shambles against Coventry City, and that's 3 defeats in a row. Nigel Pearson blasted the players after that one, and some real problems there, and they need to sort that out. Forest, though, on the other hand, looking very good, and 3-1 against QPR. Good result, that. 1-0 Forest here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to book to have to go with a Forest win, it looks like. I just think, you know, Bristol will be a little bit disheartened with some of their recent results and performances. And, you know, Forest on the up as well, you know, really pulling away from the bottom of the table towards the mid-table places. Yeah, I'm going to back a Forest win. I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay, next up we go Cardiff City. Cardiff City play Blackburn. This is a game which probably sees two teams not really playing for very much anymore. Cardiff City's chances of making the top 6 probably needs them to win all of their games to make it, and Blackburn probably have to lose all their games to get relegated. So they both will be playing Championship football next season. That's what I'm saying. But I'm going to go for Cardiff to win. I think Blackburn's form is terrible. I think Mowbray is a dead man walking, and Blackburn's fans aren't really keen on him. And yeah, 1-0 Cardiff.
I'm going to go for a draw. I think obviously the shock of Cardiff losing to Sheffield Wednesday, what a freak result that was. I think they'll be looking for a bounce back performance, but I don't think just yet. I think it's really hard to bounce back from those kind of defeats straight away. You know, there's a drop of morale. Even like the next day training sessions won't be great for them. They'll all be feeling down. So I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Next up we head to Derby, where they play Norwich City. Now Derby lost 3-1 to Reading in a game which I suppose was a tough one, but this is even tougher because Norwich have just won their last game 7-0, and Norwich, by the way, that close to securing promotion now. It is a matter of time, and Derby, they need to try and get something here because they're not safe yet, and they need to just try and get those points where they can to get over the line. I'm going to go for Norwich 1-0.
Yeah, I can't see anything other than a Norwich win. Obviously, just watching that 7-0 demolition job on Huddersfield, you know, some of the football they were playing, the likes of Pukki, Cantwell, Buendia and Dowell, some lovely link-up in there. Only a Norwich win I can see. 2-0 Norwich.
2-0 Norwich. Next up then, we go to a Yorkshire derby, Huddersfield versus Rotherham. Wow. And this is just massive. This is bonkers. Because there's so many teams down there, there's about 6 or 7 teams in the mix, it feels like there's always 2 of them playing each other every weekend, and it's Huddersfield-Rotherham this time. And Huddersfield couldn't be coming into this on a worse defeat. They lost 7-0 to Norwich. But having said that, Rotherham are coming into this on the back of a home defeat 3-0 against Wycombe Wanderers. So what do you say? Both teams coming into this on poor confidence. Oh, 2-1 to Huddersfield.
Oof. I feel a bit sorry for the Huddersfield fans because it's the 3rd time we've mentioned their result against Norwich, but probably gonna have to mention it again. You know, it wasn't great, but you know what, looking at this game, I think it's got 0-0 written all over it. Wow. I really do. Both teams dropping really poor performances as of late. 0-0 for me.
Interesting. Next up, Preston take on Brentford, and maybe a game which doesn't have too much riding on it. Preston with a big win against Swansea, which has surely sealed their safety, and Brentford with another draw against Birmingham now, probably just waiting until the playoffs come along now. I don't see them getting into the top 2 or falling out of the top 6. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Preston to beat another playoff team here. They obviously beat Swansea last time 1-0. I'm going to back them to beat Brentford 1-0.
Wow. Yeah, I'm probably going to go for a draw. I think, you know, as good a result that was for Preston, I think Brentford obviously have a lot more to play for than they do. Like I say, Brentford just kind of fell into things at the wrong time maybe. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. Okay,
now next up, this is a really big game. Queen's Park Rangers take on Sheffield Wednesday. Now, Queen's Park Rangers, really strange Easter weekend for them. They beat my team Coventry 3-0. I thought, wow, they look amazing. But then they lost to Forest 3-1 and they didn't look that good. But all eyes are on Sheffield Wednesday. They are the big team in this game. Sheffield Wednesday beat Cardiff 5-0 last time. Now, this is where we find out whether that was a freak result or if they mean business. And it's tricky. I could see them winning, but QPR, you've got to remember, they are a good team. So, let's go down the middle. Let's go for a 2-2 draw.
Wow, interesting. I think I want to apologise to the Sheffield Wednesday fans first, but I think it was a bit of a freak result. I know, it could be controversial, and you know what, I could easily be proven wrong here. But you know what, I'm going to go for a draw as well. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Now next up we head to Adams Park. Wycombe Wanderers taking on Luton Town, and Wycombe's hopes of survival are just getting a little bit stronger each time. But against a good Luton team here, let's take this seriously. Luton Town are no mugs, and they're not going to roll over here. Wycombe need to win. Wycombe need to win. They just need to keep winning. I think their next loss might just be the biggest loss because they are so close to slipping out of it. But at the same time, these wins are just keeping them in it. Oh, I'm sorry, Wycombe fans, but I'm going Wycombe 0, Luton 1. I'm going for Luton to be party poopers here.
Oh, no, I'm going to do the opposite and I'm going to back Wycombe. You know what, I think they've got a little bit of momentum winning their last 3 games. And I think at home as well, they'll be slightly confident that they'll be able to pick up 3 points on this one. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wycombe.
There we go. That's it from us, guys. That is our championship predictions. Some mental games. Guys, get your predictions down below. We want to see what they are. But make sure you've left a like, guys. Subscribed if you're new. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.